Hey guys, Anders here. How's that for an intro? Little 10-man spray, nothing too big. Welcome to the third ever video I've ever uploaded in the year 2023, and we're here to talk about the new game mode, which I'm actually having a decent amount of fun. This is the third week of the Battle of Nordvik event, and I expected this game mode to actually be pretty terrible, but to my surprise, it's actually some of the most fun I've had in Battlefield 2042 in a little while. Obviously, it's just completely disorganized, chaotic nonsense, but it works better than some of the other modes, and I'll be talking about that in depth. If you enjoyed the video, or like the 10-man spray at the beginning, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you missed yesterday's upload, I uploaded a $20,000 tournament documentary. I know some of you Battlefield guys aren't interested in that game, but I'm telling you right now when I say that is one of the best videos on my entire channel. If you're bored one night and you're watching a Netflix series, maybe just pop that on your TV. It's the most intense tournament you'll ever see. I'll put a card up on the screen right now and leave a link to that in the description. And drop a follow on my Twitch channel. I'll also be playing in another tournament this weekend. I'll be streaming all that, so if you want to catch the action live, definitely catch the streams on Saturday and Sunday. So, this new breakthrough mode is called Chaos Breakthrough. It's like a 128-player Spearhead Breakthrough. There's faster movement speed. And we've had modes like this before. There's also been some community-made modes similar to this, but I would argue much worse. And some of those modes are maybe the 128-player Rush or Chaos Rush that you've played before. In my opinion, Chaos Rush is just complete trash compared to this, for one very good reason. Rush is a 32-person game mode that they force up to 128 players, and the layouts simply cannot support it, and it's just terrible because you just have people spamming the MCOM with all sorts of stuff, and it's essentially impossible or just very unfun to go and play that mode. Compared to this, where it's Breakthrough, and the layouts are larger, you have more run of the map, and I just think it generally works better. And I know 128-player Breakthrough isn't a new thing. Obviously, they removed it from the base game a while ago. But I think on Spearhead, for whatever reason, it might be just because Spearhead's a good map, I think this is actually pretty decent. One thing is for sure, though, this mode absolutely makes it feel more like Battlefield. I think that's a big gripe people have had with the game, and this definitely feels more like how Battlefield should feel. But one thing is for certain, you can absolutely tell you're playing a 128-player game mode because your performance tanks. I mean, the movement input delay increases, the aiming delay increases, the latency in the mouse, it just feels substantially worse than 64 players in every single regard. And that's quite a shame considering, well, this game was kind of made for 128 players and now it's not really being pushed that hard except for Conquest. But as far as the event attached to this goes, I feel like overall, the Battle of Nordvik event was kind of just like one of those things that they put in the game as a filler. It's completely fine, like it's free. It definitely was something to do rather than just like leaving the game with nothing. But the cosmetics attached to the third week are a little disappointing. I'm just happy the game mode is, I think, just better than all the previous game modes. Especially Retribution, which was the second week game mode. If you watched my Super Hind video a couple days ago, you know that you could essentially just end the game if you just camp their spawn with the Super Hind. No player could leave their spawn and they would just instantly die as soon as they spawned. And that was easily fixable just by putting a CRAM in the spawn, like they had in Battlefield 4, but that's probably too difficult for DICE to do anymore. They do not have the tech. As for things to, I guess, anticipate for Battlefield 2042, there is supposed to be Update 3.2. I anticipate that'll probably come fairly soon after Season 3 ends, because I think DICE is probably going to get back from vacation anytime here. And Update 3.2 is going to be a massive update to the game. Correct me if I'm mistaken, but I think it's the class system update as well as the breakaway rework. So that is definitely not a small update, and it will absolutely shift the entire way the game plays, and it might finally add some readability to Battlefield 2042's otherwise completely unreadable gameplay. It'll group the specialists into a class system, something that should have been done since the release of the game, even before the release of the game. And I think that update is also slated to have some much-needed tank improvements because, as we all know, or at least I hope we all know, the tanks in Battlefield 2042 are the worst tanks, potentially, of any video game I've ever played in my entire life. So they definitely need all those turret changes they're going to receive. And if DICE keeps it up with all of these decent change updates, eventually they'll add up and keep adding up, and the game will be better as a result. Now, there are still some catastrophic things they have to address. First of all, the recoil bug. The recoil bug has to be fixed. If it's not fixed in the next patch, DICE, you're absolutely throwing. It's a catastrophic bug that is completely unavoidable and affects every single one of your players, and you told me personally you know what the problem is, so I expect that to be fixed in the next patch notes. And second, further latency reductions to mouse input, controller input, tweaks to, the functionality of aim assist and all that stuff. If they keep making all these good updates and good additions, I do think the game will reach a point where you kind of have to say it is slightly recovered, which is kind of crazy to think about, considering the state that it released in. But that still doesn't make it okay, obviously, and even if DICE get 2042 to the point where we can actually confidently say it is a good game, I'm never going to let them down. I'm never going to let them down on the fact that this game released a year early. And I think that's very important because I think people forget a little too quickly. A great example is when the Battlefield 5 Pacific DLC released. When that Pacific DLC released, some people just forgot that Battlefield 5 was even a terrible video game. People are like, oh my god, this is the greatest game ever now. No. No, it's just like 2 maps or whatever it was, and that's pretty much it. My opinion on Battlefield now is I'll just believe it when I see it. That's my opinion going into the next Battlefield. So if you're wondering, Enders, what do you think about the next Battlefield already? That's my opinion. That'll be my opinion when the game releases. I'll believe it when I see it. Hey, I hope the game's good. If it's not, I'm not surprised. And with that, I'll end one of the first videos of 2023. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Bunch of different little topics in this video, a bit of an update thing, and remember to check out the $20,000 tournament documentary. Link is in the description for that. Drop a like on it, would really appreciate it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you guys later.